Celebrating 10 years of exploring the Great Lakes State, it's Behind the Mitten, hosted by Gonzo and Amy Sherman. Your ultimate insiders for all things Michigan, food, festivals, breweries, and beyond. Whether you're a lifelong Michigander or just visiting, this is your guide to the heart of the Mitten State.
And welcome to this weekend's Behind the Mitten. John Gonzalez along with Amy Sherman. Behind the Mitten is Michigan's premier travel radio show and podcast. It's 2025, Amy, and we're so excited to be back on the air 10 years.
It is exciting. A decade on the airwaves. We started way back in 2015. We've been over the Michigan airwaves and beyond since then, and it's been so much fun. I can't believe all the places we visited across Michigan. I mean, I feel, one, we could pinch ourselves because we're so very lucky and very honored to tell these stories. But each week, we still come up with great new places to go visit, right?
We sure do, but sometimes the places are very familiar to people. But when we do those shows, we like to take you to maybe some new places in those areas that they haven't been to before. But 10 years is quite an accomplishment. And thank you, listeners, all over the state of Michigan for supporting Behind the Mitten, whether you're in Lansing, Grand Rapids, Traverse City, Midland, Port Huron, Gaylord, Kalamazoo, St. Joe, Benton Harbor, Big Rapids. Who am I missing?
We could just go on and on and on and on, right? Bay City, Wyandotte, K-Peck, all of our hometowns.
Sault Ste. Marie.
Sault Ste. Marie.
Saginaw.
Yeah.
Marquette.
Oh, who's that voice?
Well, I was going to say what we really need to do is get to our special 10th anniversary kickoff show. It's our first show of 2025, and we really wanted to do something special and yet familiar. And since we do have him as a guest, typically as our first show of the year, you know what I said? Annie's always our best co-host of all time. We have to have him on for this very, very special event. So here he is again. It's Mr. Paulie B. Paul Beachnau from the Gaylord Michigan Tourism Bureau. Welcome back as our co-host, buddy.
Thanks so much. It's great to be with you guys. It's been just an amazing time getting to know you guys, and I've been able to be your groupie once in a while, carry your equipment, and it's just been a blast. What you guys have done for the state of Michigan and those unique finds all over the place, and the unique places that you've been, that you've shared, is really amazing. It's been great for our state. Of course, your best find is always Gaylord, Michigan. And some of those great off the beaten path places. And you guys, it's just been so great to get to know you and spend time with you, and how much you care about our state and how professional you are with your show. So congratulations, 10 years, and can't wait to talk to you guys a little bit more today.
Well, we are thrilled to have you here, my friend. You know, as you were talking, I was just thinking to myself that Behind the Mitten and Gaylord Tourism Bureau have kind of grown up a little bit together over the last 10 years. I know that when we first started coming up to visit, you guys, you had all your things, but maybe people weren't quite as aware of it. And now I feel like you guys are just hitting on all cylinders with all the things you have going on up there. What has been like the biggest change over the last 10 years, would you say, in your community in Gaylord?
Well, Gaylord is a special place, and my big celebration just a few weeks ago, because I started with the Gaylord Area Chamber of Commerce 39 years ago. On December the 15th, I remember that day well, and I knew from the time I graduated college, I was 22 years old when I started, and I knew I wanted to move back to Gaylord. I loved the lifestyle. I still do love the lifestyle. And even though we've grown in so many ways, the thing I love most about Gaylord is it's still got that small town vibe. It's a welcoming community. You go there once, you're a guest. You go there a second time and you're everybody's friend. I mean, I go places now with Gonzo up there, and he knows more people than I do. Like, people are like, "Oh, Paul, we see you all the time." Gonzo. And so that's been really fun is to see Gaylord grow in so many ways, but also it has retained that small town charm. It's retained that small town atmosphere. We love welcoming new people. We've been growing consistently, and people love moving there because they always say, your town's great. It's a lot of amenities, but the best thing about Gaylord is the people.
That's for sure. The people in Gaylord have always, been so, like you said, supportive, and I don't know, they've been so, what's the right word? Not only supportive of welcoming guests, but just doing it unconditionally, right? So when you pull in, this may be your first time in the area, but certainly not going to be your last time, right? You come in and you're like, oh, I'm going to come back again.
Yeah. And people genuinely get excited about seeing the success that we've had in so many areas, and being on your show. You guys have come up and interviewed so many guests in the Gaylord area over the years, and there's always just this general amazing excitement, like, oh my God, John and Amy are here. They're going to do another segment of Behind the Mitten. Oh my God, yeah, I'll be there. When do you want us? I mean, usually it's Snowbell,
Alpine Tavern,
or Big
Buck.
But people just get so excited because you guys create this vibe, and you create this general interest in genuine concern and interest in when we have guests. And I hear that time and time again. I've traveled with you guys been a lot. I've been very lucky to do that. And I've seen you do some of the Michigan's best work, and you're still just as enthusiastic on your 10th burger place that you visited as you are on your first. And I'm like, how do they do this? I would be so burgered out, but you guys...
You just unbutton your pants.
You guys just take the time to learn about people, and it's their passion. And that has been one of the keys to your success.
Amy, I think that the Burgermeister just said he's been burgered out.
Meister.
That's hard to believe that the Burgermeister has been burgered out. No, it's thank you for the kind words, Paul, but we really have had so much fun over the years. We're going to talk on today's show. We're going to talk about some of those memories, kind of, look a little bit to the past, not just in Gaylord, but throughout the state of Michigan, because you're right. You remind me, like, you have been with us to Sault Ste. Marie. You've been with Thompsonville, Mackinac Island. I mean, you've been to a lot of different places that we go. Petoskey,
Grand Rapids.
Spent
a lot of time in Grand Rapids, Detroit area. I've been to many times. And there's always great finds. It's always an adventure with you guys, and it's always fun. Never know what's going to happen in a good way. And the people that I have met through you guys has just been very, very rewarding.
We were just at opening day, too, for the Tigers last year.
Yes, we did.
I couldn't forget that.
That was a bucket list item. Always wanted to go to the opening day of Tigers. Never done it. It was everything it was cracked up to be. It was everything people talk about. Yeah. One of the funnest times, literally, in my life, truly.
Wow, you guys.
How about that?
Me next year with
Oh, I think we got a bigger group going next year, don't we, Paul?
Yes, we do. Wait, we'll put you on the waiting list, Amy.
Name down, please.
All right, real quick, what are some of the things we're going to cover on today's show? Because, we've got a lot to talk about. 10 years on the show.
Well, yes, of course. We're going to talk more about fun things that we have done in Gaylord in the past and hope to do in the future. I know I probably still have a Gaylord bucket list, so we'll definitely talk about that. Okay. We're going to talk about some of the things that we've gone through in the past from our viewpoints, but also from the community's viewpoints up in Gaylord. It's been a rough couple of years for some certain parts of town. We'll talk about that. And then how you can be ready for winter and some of the cool things you can do up there, right?
We always talk about embracing winter. And I think the winter of 24, 25, I mean, heck, the last few years, you just say the winter of 25, right? You wouldn't even talk about 24 as a factor. But believe it or not, it's been a winter already.
It's been winter. And I know that, Paulie, you're going to share kind of how the community has been reacting to the incredible amounts of snow that the Gaylord community has been getting. So we'll be talking about that too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're making up for the snow we didn't get last year already before Christmas. And so that's been really, really fun. And the community response has just been a blast.
I love that. We'll play some old clips from old shows and we'll do some new stuff. It's all coming up next on Behind the Mitten, our 10-year anniversary.
I need some time. I need some time. Some time to unwind, wine. Time to unwind, yeah. I need some time to unwind. Some time to unwind, yeah. Busy now. I need some time to think about how to unwind. It's been so loud in my mind. Now I need to find some type of vacation, some meditation, release all that tension. Yeah, or I need a location with some meditation, some type of vacation. I get some tired of being tied to my 9 to 5, yeah. And all I need right now is just some time. Some time. I need some time. Some time to unwind, wine. Time to unwind, yeah. I need some time.
Hey, it's Amy from Behind the Mitten. I'm here with my great friend and sometimes co-host, Mr. Paul Beachnau from the Gaylord Tourism Bureau. Paulie B, I want to ski and maybe learn how to snowboard this year. Where should I go in the Gaylord area?
Amy, we have 2 amazing resorts in Gaylord. We have the Seagull Resort and Treetops Resort. Amazing for families. They both have rental equipment for ski and snowboard and a lesson if you would like.
Oh, that might help.
Yeah, come and visit us up in Gaylord, Michigan for some great skiing.
I love that there are 2 resorts. They each have a completely unique feel, and you can go back and forth. You want to ski one day here, pop on over here. You can do it all right there in Gaylord, Michigan.
Yes, you can. Come and visit us at GaylordMichigan.net for all things Gaylord.
And welcome back to Behind the Mitten. John Gonzalez, along with Amy Sherman. Behind the Mitten is Michigan's premier travel radio show and podcast. And this year, celebrating 10 years. If you're just joining us throughout the state of Michigan, we're kicking off this show with a special guest co-host, right, Amy Sherman?
Yes, he co-hosts our first show of every year, and this year shouldn't be any different. So it's Mr. Paulie B, Paul Beachnau from the Gaylord Tourism Bureau. Welcome back, buddy.
So great to be with you guys. It always just feels right. Feels like being at home.
You know, you threw us for a loop, Paul. You really did, because I didn't expect you to say so many nice things about us in the opening segment. I mean, I just was
I was kind of surprised, too, because we threw a lot of smack talk between the stuff.
There is a lot of smack talk that goes on.
Other segments where that can be corrected.
Off the record.
Oh, no, you have to make it on the record, Paul. There's a lot of good stuff that's happened over the years. But no, I'm excited for today's show because if you're just tuning in, we're going to talk about the 10 years of Behind the Mitten. And it seems funny. And Amy, you made a really good point in that first segment that we've kind of grown up together. And it's funny, too. The Pure Michigan campaign, actually, in the last 10 years, it all kind of came together. Amy and I traveling the state. Gaylord really getting on the map, Pure Michigan coming into its own, tourism throughout the state coming into its own. It's been kind of a great story.
It really has, in state of Michigan and the Pure Michigan partnership has been just amazing. And it's been a key component for us in the Gaylord area in helping to take our message to a bigger audience, a broader audience, an audience that's farther outside of the state of Michigan. But then, there's nothing like you guys and your listenership here in the state of Michigan, because at the end of the day, our best customers, our best guests are those right here in Michigan, because there's so incredibly much to do in our state. There's endless opportunities to get out there and have fun when you live right here in the state of Michigan.
Well, like as we reflect on these last 10 years and the growth that you've gone through, you guys have put together some incredible programs that are not just statewide, they have nationwide focus, like your Gaylord Golf Mecca, inviting people from all over the country to come and golf during the summer months at your incredible golf courses. You have a partnership with the Traverse City Airport to bring guests in. I mean, talk a little bit about those, because I think people don't understand a lot of times about what the Tourism Bureau does. A lot of times they might not understand that you have partnerships all over to bring people to the Gaylord area.
Yeah, we have, and I like to say that some of the work we're doing is that Gaylord has continued to get better as a travel destination. We have a lot of core activities and core products like the Pigeon River Country State Forest, but I have seen so much growth in the quality and the caliber of our facilities. Renovations at Treetops Resort and the amazing job that they've done there. A lot of our golf courses have continually upgraded things like redesigns and bunker upgrades, and new owners at Otsego Resort have done an amazing job with some delayed maintenance in terms of bringing that up to speed and constantly investing. So I feel like over the years, our destination has gotten better. It's like that old commercial. We just don't make things, we make them better. And that has allowed us to reach out into some really great partnerships with some pretty high profile tourism bureaus like Charlevoix and Traverse City and Petoskey, and partnerships with Traverse City Airport in some very specialty markets. The number of nonstops coming into Traverse City now are 20 nonstop flights. It's the third busiest airport in the state of Michigan, and that has allowed us to embrace audiences from farther out, places like Dallas, and those people come to Northern Michigan, and they are absolutely stunned at the quality and the caliber, of course, the greenery, the comfortable temperatures. And we found some really nice niches in some of those areas. And it's because we've gotten better as a destination, but it's also the work that Pure Michigan has done to put us on the map. And you mentioned earlier about you guys coinciding with that, and that has grown and grown and grown, and they've tweaked it and fine-tuned it, just like you guys have done with your show over the years.
And with this heightened awareness of not only of Gaylord and Pure Michigan comes that responsibility of people reaching out to you more. So I could think of a couple of things with Gaylord. The recent snowfall, right, in the late of 2024, the record amount of snowfall. We'll talk more about snow in a minute, but in May of 2022, the community suffered a major tragedy with a tornado that came ripping through parts of the area. And I think because of all the awareness of Gaylord, a lot of people were like, "Oh, what happened?" And plus, it's a tornado, right? Like, what happened? And you had calls and people come reaching out to you, like, what's going on? In fact, let's play a clip, Amy. That's fine with you?
Yes.
Let's play a quick little clip from May of 2022 when we had you on the show. Amy said, let's get Paul on the show immediately. We did, and this is kind of your, what you were talking about at that point. It's really raw. Listen to the clip, folks, and this is us talking to Paul about the May tornado in Gaylord.
I just cannot tell you guys how overwhelming and heartwarming it has been to receive notes of support, text messages, emails, communications from friends, CBB colleagues around the state of Michigan that have reached out and said, "Paul, what can we do? We're thinking of you. Let us know if we can help." I mean, honestly, it has been absolutely overwhelming and heartwarming, and you guys know I'm an emotional guy, and I might get a little emotional talking about it, because right Friday when this whole thing started, I started immediately people saying, "Hey, Paul, are you safe? Hey, where are you at? What are you doing?" And I couldn't respond immediately to everyone, but I did a post on Facebook to let people know I was safe personally, and that Christy, the best marketing communications director in the state, was safe, and our office was safe. And it was a horrible tragedy, and our community rallied. It was just impressive to see people showing up with pickup trucks and to show up with trailers and just start hauling brush and debris and people they didn't know going, hey, what can I do? What do you need me to do right now? I mean, just it was that kind of in spite of the pain and the loss of homes, and it was that sort of spirit that was just amazing, I guess, is all I can say.
So, Paul, that's got to be listening back to that. It's like that's more than 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, that was such a unbelievable time where our community came together in such an amazing fashion. And Neil Rubin from the Detroit Free Press had come up to take a look and to do a story. And as we went through the community, and I told him, I said, Neil, I said, what's going to happen? We go through places. Don't be surprised if I know every person there.
Yeah.
And about 4 stops in, he goes, oh my gosh, you were right. You know everybody. But what he summarized was the best line about Gaylord, Michigan, is when he said, Gaylord's a great place to come and visit on a beautiful June day when you've got golf and lakes and an amazing downtown and things to do. Gaylord's really amazing. But if you really want to know about Gaylord, come and visit Gaylord after a major tragedy like a tornado. And that's where you're really going to find out about what a really amazing place Gaylord, Michigan is. Because, we didn't sit still. We jumped right in as a community and we got to work. And so many people just jumped in to help us out. It was really an amazing comeback.
We agree. We love the Gaylord community and how they step up for others, their own and others as well. And we are going to have more from this great spot in Michigan coming up next on Behind the Mitten.
Ain't no use in sitting and wonder why, babe. It don't matter anyhow. And it ain't no use in sitting and wonder why, babe. If you don't know by now.
And welcome back to Behind the Mitten. John Gonzalez along with Amy Sherman, traveling the great state of Michigan as we do every single weekend, celebrating 10 years as a show, as a radio show and podcast. Speaking of the podcast, Amy, people can go back and listen to one of our previous 660 episodes.
It's a true story. You can find it wherever you get your podcasts, including Spreaker, Apple, Spotify, all the places.
Just search for Behind the Mitten with Amy Sherman and John Gonzalez on your favorite podcast platform, and you can listen to our previous episodes. Right now, we have an epic guest with us, co-host.
We do. He's our number one co-host. And so, of course, he had to kick off our 10-year anniversary. It's Paulie B, Paul Beachnau from the Gaylord Tourism Bureau. Thank you so much for joining us again. I love reflecting across the years with you because we've had many an adventure.
Oh my gosh, it's so great to hang out with you guys. And we have had many, many, many adventures and a lot of history there for sure.
So, Amy, I think I found a clip. I'm not going to play it today, but maybe I will share it on our Facebook page. By the way, great job, Amy. Amy is our social media director at Behind the Mitten, and she manages our Facebook page and does a great job.
Gonzo, you're our technical director, and you're killing it right now.
Not really. No, I'm having some issues with my technical side. So much for 2025 being a great year. But no, it's going to be a great year. But I have a clip from, I want to say, Paul, this clip is from, that YouTube clip is like almost 11 years old, 12 years old now, where I made my first trip to Gaylord without you, Amy, sorry. And Paul's taking me through downtown. The snow's coming down. And it's the same Paul. It's the same Paulie B talking about how much he loves Gaylord, and you had the history of like how Gaylord became the Alpine Village, right? Because it wasn't like that from day one.
No, it was not. No. Gaylord was, we were concerned the community leaders were so smart. You used to have to go right through downtown Gaylord to get to Mackinac on Old 27. And when I-75 came in the mid-'60s, the community leaders were worried about people driving right by, and so they wanted to come up with the concept to make Gaylord really stand apart. And they came up with the Alpine Village format, the Alpine Village theme, and the community leaders, business owners bought into that 100%. And it's based on at Seagull Resort, which are great members of the Gaylord Tourism Bureau, an iconic winter business in Gaylord. And we patterned ourselves after that look of an alpine village. We have one of the highest elevations in the Lower Peninsula. We're renowned for our snowfall. We average nearly 150 inches of snow a year, a lot of great winter activities. So setting our community apart by becoming an alpine village was just a brilliant move, and that continues today. And a lot of those businesses embrace it, and we embrace winter like never before. And
And we have snow this year, right? They have snow.
Oh, they have some serious snow. Yeah, some really great snow. You guys have had a record-setting snowfall already, just from November and December, which is crazy. The community's response has been what, Paulie?
It's really hilarious. When you go out and about town, and people just get so excited, when I go places around town, everyone knows what I do, of course. They're like, oh my God, isn't this snow great? Oh, and you see people out there snow blowing and pushing snow and wearing hats and closing their businesses down for the day. And it's just part of our culture, and everyone loves it. Through mid-December, we had achieved 84 inches of snow, which was more than half of where we were and exceeded all of the snowfall that we got in the winter of 2023-24. And it was such a downer. Literally, everyone in the community was really down about it because they know how important it is for not just the ski resorts and the snowmobile, but the hardware stores and the retail stores and visitors. I mean, it is part of our culture, is snowfall and winter activities. And we're probably the only community maybe in Michigan where people get so excited, like, oh my God, we have another winter storm warning. And, of course, everyone loads up, but everyone's smiling and happy about it. And it's just like, oh my God, isn't it great? Oh my, yes, it's great, and it's really, really cool to see that the genuine excitement that people have for snow in Gaylord.
Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow, right? You're no question about it. Hey, you mentioned at Seagull Resort, and a couple of years ago we had you on the show, and I loved how you rattled off all the how many runs they had, how big the terrain was.
I think we should play the clip.
Yes, let's just play the clip because there's one thing that you forgot.
I'll tell you what, I don't want to not mention at Seagull Resort. They are one of the oldest ski resorts in the state of Michigan. They were founded in 1939. And what's really cool about Seagull is they opened to the public. For years, they were a private ski resort, one of the foremost private ski resorts in the United States. But they've been open to the public for about 6 years now. The skiing there, I will tell you, is absolutely amazing. They have 32 runs. They have 5 chairlifts. They have over 200 acres of terrain, and it is just a hidden gem. They've really been.
You just glossed right over the coolest slopeside bar in the state at Otsego Resort. Down by the river.
Oh, the river cabin. Oh my gosh.
Let's talk, Goose.
I've had so many great times down there. Apparently I've forgotten about them.
Paul, how did you forget about the river cabin?
Greatest ski lodges in all of Michigan, I have to say. Now you have to be able to ski down there to get to it.
Yes.
It's not hard skiing. It's not hard skiing. I think anybody could make it down there. But once you get there, that is a magical little spot at Otsego Resort.
It really is. There's been a lot of things that have happened down at that river cabin, but it is one of the most iconic watering holes at a ski resort, I would dare say, in the state of Michigan.
Set the scene for me, baby.
It is cozy. It's surrounded by cedar trees. The Sturgeon River flows into a little pond that gets right next to it. There's a ski lift at the bottom. There's this enormous open fire pit with a copper.
It's a circular fire pit.
A circular fire pit like the old days.
That is inside.
And the floor is uneven. And you can get burgers and fries. And then in the bar area, you can sit there and watch skiers coming in, getting on and off that chairlift. It's really, really an amazing spot. And we're so lucky to have Otsego Resort. They've been an iconic member of our community since 1939. For years, a private ski resort, and then they went public. So a lot of people get to experience that.
I have to say, when you come down the hill there to the lodge at the bottom of the hill, I mean, it feels like this is a traditional old school ski resort, because I feel like a lot of Michigan ski resorts feel like it's kind of blank mountain, white face. And when you go down there, you're surrounded by trees. You can hear the creek. You can actually ski alongside the creek. Like it's really is a winter wonderland down there.
It really is. And one thing about Michigan that's different is, a lot of times when you look at mountains, you're looking from the ground up. And from Gaylord, you're looking, everything's plateaued, and you're going down, looking into the valleys. So it's a little bit of a reverse, because if you're not familiar with Gaylord, you were already up on a plateau, and everything flows away from town and from downtown. So our ski resorts are starting at the top, and the lodging and everything is at literally the top of the hill, and everything flows down. So the river cabin is down in the cedar right along the Sturgeon River, and it's down at the bottom of the hill, and you're able to look up and see the lodging. And it's just a different look and a different vibe. Amazing for families. And of course, don't want to forget about our great friends over at Treetops, who have done a phenomenal job with their ski operation, with their snowmaking equipment, and with the vibe that's going on. For family skiing, I would dare say there's not a better place in the state of Michigan if you got young kids.
Love it. All right, more from Glorious Gaylord coming up next on Behind the Mitten.
Sick of the people changing, sick of the people's choice. Why you be talking disrespectful to the ones that's yours? You gotta love your people, you gotta love yourself. You gotta love the people that would walk with you through hell. Maybe they'll throw some cash, hopefully throw some bucks, or change your situation right after a chance of luck. Give you some guidance on the life.
This is where the fun is. Cornwell's Turkey House.
Hey everyone, it's John Gonzalez and Amy Sherman from Behind the Mitten. And Amy, right now we are hanging out with two cool people.
We sure are. We're at Cornwell's Turkeyville, and we're here with our good friends Patty and Elise.
And Elise, when you come here, turkey's #1 seller, right? But there's other things as well.
Correct. We have baked goods and pies, all sorts of items, and you can get them for here or to go.
I heard you even have some pre-made meals, homemade pre-made meals that are in your freezer.
We do. You can order them from anything for 2 or a family to 8.
And of course, we're going to recommend your homemade pies or your grandmother's recipe, right, Elise?
Sure do. Anything from coconut cream to pumpkin pie.
Patty, if people want to get more information and plan a visit to Turkeyville, where can they go?
To turkeyville.com.
This is where the fun is. Cornwell's Turkey House.
And welcome back to Behind the Mitten. John Gonzalez along with Amy Sherman. Behind the Mitten is Michigan's premier travel radio show and podcast, and we're celebrating 10 years. And I cannot think of a better co-host to celebrate our 10 years, Amy.
We are so lucky to welcome back into the Behind the Mitten studio, Mr. Paul Beachnau from the Gaylord Tourism Bureau. Paulie B, thanks for joining us again, buddy.
It's always a privilege to hang out with such premier pros who have just dominated radio in the state of Michigan for 10 years. You guys are right up there at the top.
Oh, wow. That's so nice of you. I loved hearing some of the stories about Otsego Resort. And we haven't spent a lot of time there, but, we tend to hang out a lot at Treetops Resorts. And, you mentioned at the very end of the segment that if you have a family and you want to go there and really kind of experience everything with some great pricing and, just options, and it's definitely the place to go to for families.
Oh, hands down, they've done such an amazing job, digging back over the past 10 years with the improvements they've made to their ski operations, their chairlifts, their snowmaking capabilities, their lodging, their addition of so many great foodie experiences. You can't do it this year, but dog sled rides, being able to get out and take a horse-drawn sleigh ride around the property, food experiences. They are just invested in a lot of great experiences, and just the job that they've done has just been phenomenal. And their skiing, again, is just great for families. And there's so many other things to do in Gaylord for silent sports. There's so many great places, whether you want to get the best groomed cross-country ski resort in Michigan at Four Bush Corner, or you want a complete wilderness experience up at the Pigeon River Country State Forest. I've taken you guys for some really nice hikes up there. Tried to lose you a time or two, Gonzo, but you weren't having it. You've always been able to keep up. Winter rafting, which we have seen, 8 or 9 years ago, we did talk about that a lot, and that has been an experience that has just really taken off. It's a guided rafting trip on the Sturgeon River. I've had people tell me it's one of the coolest things they've ever done for a winter recreation experience. It's guided.
So true.
It's guided. You can be with your favorite peeps. You can bring a pocket pail with you, and it just takes about an hour and a half, and it's just a great experience. So, I'm going to turn the tables on you guys now, because I've had the opportunity. I'm paying over the mic, and you're going to be my guest now. You guys have been coming up to Gaylord in winter for a long time. Tell me about some of your favorite memories. Tell me about some of your favorite experiences of being in winter in Gaylord.
Well, we were just talking about winter rafting. I know that both Gonzo and I would probably number one, if you want to do a winter experience in Gaylord, we recommend it all the time because it's so incredibly unique. But I won't lie, the first time we did it, it's a little bit concerning because you are, you go up to where they're going to drop you in, and you are in all the winter gear. I mean, the boots, the hat, the giant parka. I've got, pants on. If I fall in, I'm sinking is what I'm thinking, right? But you have a life jacket on as well. You are in a very, very, very stable inflatable raft. You are with a professional paddler who's going to make sure you do everything correct. And as soon as we started going, it was so incredibly peaceful and beautiful. And we had deer come down, and snow was kind of gently falling. And I think once we got comfortable, we felt okay. Now, Gonzo, I know you were a little bit nervous that day too.
Well, let me just chime in here too to make sure your listeners understand. The Sturgeon River isn't that deep.
It's not rapid. No,
so it's not rapid. And if you go, but you don't go in unless you want to. It's very safe.
But there is a minute where you're standing there with your paddle, that boat, you got all your gear on, you're like, what am I doing? But it truly, I think it has been one of the most magical times we've experienced as Behind the Mitten in the winter, for sure.
Yeah, I felt like I was like Grumpy from the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs because there's Paul, he's Snow White, and here we are all marching down the hill with this huge raft on our shoulder, and we're like, hi ho, in the water we go. I mean, I was like, oh, it's real, it's going to be terrible, because I'm a little afraid of water. And we got down there, and it was really easy. The guide helps you. The guide tells you when pedal left, pedal right. The pocket pail, of course, helps kind of ease some of that tension and stress.
Out there on the river, that's where you kind of, I feel like a lot of people maybe don't experience that part of Michigan and nature and that quiet solitude, and you're just floating. You might be talking, you might not be, but I felt like that was a very peaceful, lovely memory. Now I have a ridiculous memory too, not ridiculous, but one where I was a disastrous mess, and it was the first time that I went cross-country skiing, which was at Treetops Resort on a skiable feast, which was an incredible event they used to do every year at Treetops. Paulie B, you were like, no problem, Sherms, I'll get you all strapped in and I'll teach you how to do it. Well, I swear to you, I must have strapped those skis on 1 million times and just fell directly over to my side. And then I'm like, pick me up, Paulie. And then you pull me back up. And it went on like that for probably, I don't know, half an hour. And I saw 1 minute, there was maybe 1 second where you were like, oh, come on, Sherms. But the rest of the time you were so patient. But what I've witnessed throughout my years at Gaylord is that everyone who's working in the outdoor equipment stuff, they are so patient. They want you to learn how to use it. And so the times I've had to go and rent cross-country skis again, or snowshoes, or downhill ski, everybody up in Gaylord, whether it's Otsego, Treetops, Forbush, they all take the time to make sure you feel comfortable and that you feel like you can go out there and do it. And if you don't, they're going to take even more time with you. And I so appreciate that about Gaylord. That doesn't happen necessarily everywhere else, but it does happen in Gaylord.
Gonzo, one of my favorite memories, I'm just going to chime in here because it's just so fun.
That's her show.
Is, you guys were out there. We had got you inside the gate. Our city maintains an elk herd, and it's an amazing experience to go see them. And we took Gonzo inside the fence line to get a little bit closer, and we recorded this. Well, the elk started getting a little aggressive. He didn't get too close. It wasn't unsafe. It wasn't like some of the knuckleheads out at Yellowstone.
Right.
But Gonzo was making sure he wanted to get the right picture and the right set. And the elk started inching a little closer. And I have never seen him run so fast and move to get right back near the car, in the car.
They have a very distinctive noise or sound or whatever. And all I heard is, and I'm like, whoa. And I'm like, he's looking at me. I mean, he turned right around, stared me down. I ran back to the truck. And I was like, whoa, what was I thinking, right? Yeah. You see some of those knuckleheads that do that out at Yellowstone or somewhere, trying to get a close-up photo of a bear or something.
Not you, man. No, you were all safe, and it was really, really comical.
You know, the other thing I remember too, Paul, thanks, by the way, for reminding me of that embarrassing moment. Really quick, I remember taking my first ski lesson at Treetops.
So do I.
Do I hear garage sale coming?
Yard sale.
Yard sale?
Well, not only that, but it was a lesson. It was like a group lesson, like the world's largest ski lesson at the time.
It's Treetops, yeah.
Yes. And there were some youngsters out there. By youngsters, I mean 4, 5, 6-year-olds out there.
3. And 3 years old.
They picked it up a little quicker than people my age. And so the big test comes at the end of this. You probably don't remember, Paul, but the big test comes going down the bunny hill, right?
Yes, that's the big test, Gon.
And you got to take the rope up there, whatever it is. And
he was working real hard on pizza.
Yes. So I'm coming down this hill thinking I'm going way too fast, but I'm getting down the hill. I haven't fallen yet, right? And I'm like, I got this. All of a sudden, out of nowhere. Well, okay. To wrap it up here. Throughout my lesson, there was this little girl, maybe 6 years old, maybe 5 years old. She kept laughing at me as I was trying to learn how to do pizza and French fries, right? And she just kept laughing at me out of the corner of her eye. So we get it down the hill. I'm doing okay. She comes out of nowhere and boom, takes me out.
She went right through his legs and wiped him out. And he's
literally wiped me out.
And sprayed snow in your face doing it.
Oh, yeah, laughing all the time, yeah.
And you skied back down that Treetops and you made it to the end. And
I did.
You know what? You were part of the world's largest ski lesson. And we did that together at Treetops in Gaylord. And that's pretty cool. That's just some of the cool things we've done in Gaylord over the years. Paulie, all of our listeners, if they want to come up and do cool things in Gaylord too, where can they get the information?
GaylordMichigan.net.
We love it. Thank you for joining us.
And I can
of our 10-year anniversary in 2025. Paul Beachnau from the Gaylord Tourism Bureau.
And I can guarantee you're going to make as fun of memories as Gonzo and Amy and Gaylord. There's all kinds of things to do. You're going to have a blast. I guarantee it.
So, where are we going to be next week?
We don't know.
You've been listening to Behind the Mitten with John Gonzalez and Amy Sherman. Executive producer is Phil Tower. Production by Bill Bertschinger. Theme song is by Mustard Plug. Beer Song.
Hey, it's Amy from Behind the Mitten. I'm here with my friend Sue Dameron from Schuler's Restaurant located in Marshall, Michigan. Marvelous, Marshall. Sue, you guys have incredible food here in a historic setting. Tell me more about Schuler's.
Well, Schuler's has been open since 1909. We serve classic American cuisine in a historical setting here in our downtown. We have 550 seats in the restaurant, and we would look forward to having you come and dine with us.
That is one big restaurant. People can also come and stay with you at the Royal Hotel, right?
Yes, we have 5 boutique hotel rooms on the 3rd floor of our building that are elevator accessible.
Now, Sue, can you save me a prime rib? Where do I get all the information to make a reservation at Schuler's?
You can make a reservation at Schuler's at www.schulersrestaurant.com.
Sue, I'll see you in Marshall soon.
Thank you.